All right, so what we're going to do is ask you a few questions.
Sure.
From the Wrestling Figums board here. And first is going to be Dan88. When will we see the first set of wrestling belts released with figures on any lines?
Dan, we are absolutely working on making sure that we deliver the whole roster, the replica of the world within our basic figures and moving on into all of our different packouts. I'm not sure. I can't give you a date, but we're working on it.
Okay, so we might be looking at the first wave of basics, or are we just going to stick with the belt that you have that's a limited edition?
You'll see the belt that we have, a limited edition, throughout the year. As we talked about, the other belts will be coming.
Okay. And will the belts for figures have the same kind of leather as the bigger toy ones have now that you guys have? Because we did away with the foam that you guys did.
Sure.
Leather, will they be similar to that, or will they be the harder plastic pieces?
The belts we're delivering now with the commemorative pieces are die-cast belts, and they feel great. They're great items. When we move forward with the other belts, we want to maintain quality. So we'll see. We'll try to do the best belts execution we can, because again, it's our commitment to the fans and to the collectors to drive quality. Okay.
And then ADJP225 said, will Mattel release any real scale rings anytime here in the very near future?
Definitely stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. We have a lot of new news within real scale. Can't wait to show you some stuff a little bit more further in the year.
Okay, will we have a actual ring available when the first basics come out January 1st?
There will not be one available January 1st in the real scale, but stay tuned for 2010. We'll have something.
Okay, so maybe a couple months later? Okay. And MC2 Punk Clan says, are you going to give collectors the full WWE roster, not just the main event guys?
That's the goal. You know, that's certainly the goal, to deliver the full roster. Again, 72 figures within our basic figures. Within our 2-packs, we're going to drive about another 40-plus figures. I failed to mention that earlier. So, you know, you're looking at a lot of the roster. Okay. And that's what's most important for us, day in and day out, the roster, so the fans can recreate the entire storytelling of their favorite WWE entertainment brands.
So from beginning to end, on new talent that's starting to show up in WWE, when are we looking at maybe getting the newer guys as soon as possible?
We look at the new guys as well as the pay-per-views as our fast track. So, you know, when I talked about the pay-per-view series, obviously WrestleMania Heritage, you have a little bit longer to work on something like that. But our goal is to turn around product as quickly as possible from pay-per-views. You know, expect a short amount of time so that when you see the pay-per-view, you'll be able to see that deco in our pay-per-view series. Similarly, when we look at some of the new talents, we expect to turn it around as quickly as possible. You know, it's all about getting them sculpted and getting them sculpted right. We are not just about head slaps, you know, on other bodies. It's about getting the item right and getting it out there.
Talking about pay-per-views, as you brought up, will we see pay-per-view style type rings as well? Mine is just a Raw and SmackDown ring. And is there plans for an ECW ring as well?
Definitely ECW. Yeah, one of our new introductions, ECW ring with silver ropes. Expect that January 1st, 2010 for the ECW fans out there. For pay-per-view rings, absolutely. You know, it's important parts of the... it's an important part of the entertainment, so certainly WrestleMania rings as well as SummerSlam. There will be others that I can think of. You know, we want to celebrate those pillar events, those key events, and give you, again, the opportunity to recreate, to collect and display the rings.
But we won't be seeing rings January 1st. We'll be seeing after that, right?
There might be a sneaky one out there.
Okay, so we're going to say maybe and then maybe not.
We'll say maybe, maybe not.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Rich version 1 says, will all the accessories in the Elite be fabric or some kind of rubber or plastic?
Well, you got a little bit of both, actually, within the items we showed, where we certainly see the T-shirts within Rey Mysterio and CM Punk fabric, but then, you know, Undertaker's trench coat should not be a fabric execution. Right. It's a little harder rubber, if you will, and that's really what it's about, to deliver the detail here. So it's a little bit of both.
Now, seeing the Edge jacket, that was pretty detailed on the Edge jacket that I got to see earlier. It was pretty nice. So that does look good.
And removable.
Again. And removable.
That's what's important.
That's right. D-Money says, when can we expect to hear the first set of details or tidbits about a Legends line, roughly?
D-Money, I just spoke about 2010. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right. And 317 says, will we see any painted belts for the figures?
Again, detail. It's all about detail. I got it. Painted belts. So you're looking for the different championship titles within.
We're looking for an Elite style belt.
You're looking for an Elite style belt. We will do what we can to get that out. I think it's something that you'll be pleased when we have something.
Okay. And then PWS Phil says, will most characters get made in all styles except like Randy Orton in the basic, Elite, and Flex 4 styles?
It's a good question. Certainly, talking about Flex Force, that's a little bit more of a kid-targeted.
Which we're going to get into a little later.
We're going to get into that later. It's more of a kid-targeted segment. When you look into your basics and your elites, you certainly want to celebrate as much of the roster as possible, but you just can't do as much in Elite as you will do. Like I said, over 100 figures in Basic with singles and 2-packs. So expect more variety there. But we're going to do, obviously, some great executions within the Elite Collection.
So a little less variety in the Elites and in the entrance grades.
It's just a numbers game. You can't get there. Over time, you'll see your favorite superstars.
Okay. And then Iron Bison says, will you be releasing any play sets, such as like a backstage area or entrance ramp that is comparable to your, basically, entrance grades?
Got it. Concepts we've talked about, concepts we're looking into. No plans right now. We'll see.
Okay. Are you looking to release any sort of accessory packs that will include chairs, tables, ladders, belts, things like that?
You'll see some accessory packs certainly in the FlexForce line in spring. There are some plans to do some other accessory work within the line. Nothing January 1st.
Okay, so we'll see that in the later segment that we're going to be doing. The Y2J problem says, will Elite come with a weapon or clothing or just clothing?
There are no weapons.
No weapons.
There are no weapons. They're foreign objects.
Okay, well, that's true.
There are no weapons. You'll see official ring attire, and you'll see some other
Ladders,
items.
things like that.
You'll see some other items that might be, let's say, exclusive to the superstar.
Okay. Kana's Demand says, will Mattel's WWE products be available internationally on 1110?
Well, one of the good things about Mattel is we have worldwide distribution of the WWE line, and we absolutely will do everything we can to get it out there worldwide on January 1st, 2010. That is the plan, 100%.
Pretty close to the January 1st date, though, no matter.
January. That's it. It's we're on January 1st.
All right, now, there is a question that you might have no comment on. I know we've got to get this, though, but Cameo from Ohio says, is the chances that Mattel will release figures in different styles or in different scales in correlation with the 90s Hasbro-style figures?
It's for us, it's all about creating the Mattel line, and we're going to create the best line possible. I think that's our goal.
So it's a possibility we could see a scale that size. We just don't know right now.
Scales are another conversation. What you see here is essentially our line for spring, and we stand by this as the best WWE line you'll ever see. Okay. And down the road, who knows where we'll go with scales.
Fair enough. A couple more questions, and we'll go to the next segment. No There is no art says, what accessories can we expect to accompany Elite figures without notable entrance gear?
Well, there's two different segments, as we've talked about. There's notable entrance gear here with our entrance grades. Yeah, I mean, with Ray, we're taking a specific, let's say, specific outfit, specific design. The mask, you might not see that extra mask. You haven't seen that
right.
Day in and day out. You'll see some other stuff, whether it's it is targeted toward entrance gear. You might see a couple other things that I think that are iconic to the entertainment.
So instead of it, let's bring out Mickie James. She doesn't have like a separate outfit that she wears to the ring, but she was at one time a Divas champion.
Yeah.
Will we put maybe a Divas belt inside there instead of having clothing?
It's a good idea. I think it could be clothing. I think it could be something that is reflective of a storyline or something that you've seen. We're trying to move away from stuff that doesn't make sense.
Right.
In the sense that it's got to be a pack out that has to really drive a story or mean something.
Okay.
That's how you get to the Elite Collection, and that's what we deliver.
Okay.